Now, I'm gonna be honest with you for a second. I have been actually playing a little bit of Genesis. Not enough to really have like a direct opinion on like every deck in the format by any means. But I've been like playing with some friends, playing against some decks. There's been a decent few different options I've been going against, and in particular, I've been playing Dragon Ruler. If the rulers go down 1 point, that's all I'm asking. Dog, it's crazy out here. Friends don't let friends enter the unrealistic clickbait combo dimension. True. So true. Alright. Let's go. We got Reversal Quiz, DD Dynamite, Banquet of Millions. Thank God, actually. Banquet of Millions is probably the most funny slash dangerous of them. Thank God they made both of those into 51. Black Garden even. Oh, okay. How I have to double check which Earthbound this is. Okay, it's the stupid bird I hate. Alright, 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 alright. I see you, I see you. Okay, that makes sense. Lapis even got hit. Dog, were we still getting there? God. No, Beals! My homeboy. My my dude. This is actually sad. The worst part is, he's not even like a bad card. He's not even like, oh, it's like a terrible card at least. This guy is like, not the best towers, but it isn't the worst towers. This is a pretty easy guy to make if you need to like, get in. Potentially. That's tragic that FTK's got to him. Now, Blackwing Assault Dragon. Like, just, okay. Yeah, that's that one. Unpoint is crazy. Bramble Rose. Was that doing well? That's cool. That was doing well. This is a cool card. From what I remember. Or rather, the Rose Dragons are cool. Now reading this one. This one's annoying. I see why. This might want to get hit. Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon. Is it just FTK? Like, is there an FTK with the Rose Dragon? Oh, right, yeah. I'm stupid. Yeah, it's all because of Beals. Right, what am I saying? Yeah, of course it is, because that Beals chains off of them. What am I, stupid? I was like, oh, why are they allowed one? What's the purpose of that? No, it's because of Beals. I'm like dumb and stupid. I forgot that's the whole point of why they put Beals at 100. I'm like, no, the FTKs, forgetting what the FTKs are. Oh, Gust Kraken. And Aquamir. No, Aquamir! No, what do you mean? You don't want Gishki to... I did a little much. Uh, what? Ah, no! What do you mean? You don't want my August and Gus Kraken functioning together. What do you mean? What's the problem? What's the issue? Actually, that's early. Ouroboros is dead! Question to 11. True. Me when I start questioning things. Yeah, they talked about this one in the post. They're like, dog, stop trying to kill the staff. And you know what? They were real for that. They're so real for that. No! How could this happen? How could they make it 100 points? What do you mean they made it 100 points? What do you mean they probably ruled it incorrectly with Stevie during his run? Saying that it could be Ash when there's just like I just don't believe that. Like that effect shouldn't be ashable, right? Like it reads like it shouldn't be ashable. So for them to rule as ashable is probably crazy, but regardless of that, no. Metamorphosis. That's fun actually. Metamorphosis. It being at 5 is kind of fun. Oh my god. Okay, premature. Burial at 7 is pretty low. That's pretty low. It being lower than reborn is insane, right? Like, I get it. I get you want to see people get a little crazy with it. That said, pre-mat at only 8 or only at 7. That's a decision. Less than reborn. Like, I feel like at least like I think 25 might have not been bad, to be honest. Like that seemed almost correct. Uh, I'm happy no one tried to break it. I feel like that's not the case anymore. I feel like that's gonna cause a problem, but we'll see. Raj the Nightmare's just gone? Dog. From playing question. I get that. Um, I get that. I get the reborn. Like, I get the reborn being lowered. One, reborn being at 15 is a high cost for it, anyways. Like, that's a card that's like fine to be played, and it would be cool to see people actually considering it. But two, it's like pre-mat's like a scary card. That's not just a reborn. That's a little more than reborn. Is the problem. That being just a yield equip spell matters a lot. And for it to be cheaper than reborn feels crazy. Like, maybe question should have been like 20, and then like pre-mat could have been like 15, because I feel like that's gonna do something. I'm scared of what that will do. Them like our unrealistic clickbait combo dimension might be a lot more tempting now when you put freaking pre-mat at 7. But sure, card to safe return. That's still not playable probably. That's still probably not playable. Oh, heavy storm to 10. Oh. Oh. That that's like a that's like a decent cost. Like that's worth playing. Wait, hold. Yeah, wait, that's actually not bad. Like I would actually consider playing that. Of course, the only deck I've played is Ruler, so it's like I don't have points for anything. But you know, like I could maybe consider. Back row's crazy. The back row decks are really strong. Meodion's insane. Having heavy at 10 is not terrible. Duster to 15. 15's still a lot, if I'm gonna be honest. 15's still a little bit for a side deck card. 10, I think, is my cap if my deck is not maxing out on points. Because I know this is like a useful card that'll beat not just like one deck, but like multiple ideally. Stuff like Radiant Typhoon or uh Runic or whatever is like something you should be and Odeon are like two good decks in the format that need like to have some way to interact or to clear the back row. Heavy Storm I think is better here. Shifter or not Shifter, Duster, the other it's not bad though. 15's not terrible. Lightning Storm to 20, sure. I don't know why Lightning Storm's so low. Or so high rather. Blah. I actually never got why this was the higher of the two. Like, I get it's like modular, but like it's not better. I would say Duster's just better. But you know, that's my logic. Dance Impulse to 25, Spiral to 5, Nibiru to 5. Nibiru to 5? Ghost Mortar to 3 is actually nice too. Hold on. We got some points here. We got some nice points here. Hold on. I like spells that weren't tempting have switched to hand traps. Ogre to 3, that's really nice actually. Saravis was 5. I didn't even know that. I'll be real. That's fair. I appreciate that it's at 3. And Baron to 80. Okay. Upstart to 3. You know, true. Brow being to 3 is funny, but I guess I get it. Extra up to 10. I. That's probably fair. I was kind of thinking 15, but 10's I guess fine. That's still tempting to play, but like that definitely lowers the likelihood of wanting to play it. Trap Trick. Oh, Impulse to 5 and Airlifter to. Oh, Airlifter to 5. Wait, hold, like Airlifter? 5? Dragon's Mind. That's like that one counter trap, right? That's like not bad. Yeah, 25 original attack and defense. Yeah, and it's resettable. That's like a pretty good one, yeah. That being at 7 makes sense. Scolding even went up to 5. And Thunder went up to 5. Okay. That matters a lot, actually. All of these, like, really strong back row cards are pretty good to actually increase to, like, 5. It'll make the back row decks, not nearly as strong as they currently are. I know Odeon was actually on a lot of stuff for a lot of these specifics to a degree. I don't know about Scolding, but like the other two. Super Poly to 13 is better. That is better because that card is not fun to play with. I'm shocked it's still at a reasonable number though. I wish it went up to like 20, 25. 22, 25. This is like still a little low for me. It's the same points as Imperm, which kind of pisses me off. Imperm should not be the same points as Super Poly, but sure. Oh! Breakout! Ah! No! Our Goblinos! No! Let them live! Nats Knight to 10. That is a big hit. That's a big hit. Especially with extra to 10. That's a crazy big hit. Terra to 7 is funny. Let's go. I guess I wasn't paying attention to all the results. Goblin? Was Goblin still good? Could you still Goblin under these conditions? Is that why Breakout and Terratop are hit? And Lars went to 20. Whoa. It's Sarugi. Oh! Oh! Oh. Yeah, I guess it being 60, 61, or 60 to 51 makes more sense on both of those fronts, but oh. Extra cheek cards. Dragonar. That makes sense. That makes sense. Utopia is pretty strong, from what I've gathered. And this is a strong card. Like a really strong card. Draglublion has gone down to 80, though. That's interesting. I don't remember if 101 is hit this context. Or, yeah, or 100, rather. But it is. And they're allowing Draglublion to be legal, but you do lose. You still are losing on Numeron. Ah, 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 oh, 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 oh. Crimson Dragon's allowed to be played. Let's go. Oh, oh. I mean, yeah. I mean, yeah, but like these two actually was kind of looking forward to. But sure. Crimson Dragon might be a playable card, even at 80 in like a universe. Um, without these the two goobers that I think are actually a little more fair, on more on the fair end, but I get it. Uh, yeah, there's no way, right? That you're hitting like the worst card I've ever read. This card's like bad. I remember this card. I have this card. Like lying around. It was just like in my collection. I like randomly just look at it. I'm just like, oh, actually, it's a lot better than I remember. This is a lot better than I remember. You know what? It was being a little harsh. This does kind of screw over Synchronixes to a degree if you're just playing fusions. This is like not a bad trap card. Lion Sea only had 7? I don't know if I like that. Um, it's like it's a hit, I guess. It's better than it not being free, that's for sure. But um, it's still kind of like kind of dangerous. That's kind of a dangerous card to just let still be this low for a floodgate effect. I don't know. I guess they have like their thing with like having droll at 5 points. So unless that changes too. Retaliating to 5. Evoke Galiga's 100 now. I didn't know it was a 90. I didn't really think about it being less than 100. It being at 90 is kind of pissing me off now, but sure. All 6 barrier statues go from 60 to 70. Thank you. Severe performance outliers. That is a lot. That is a lot. That's a lot. Heyo. That's a lot. That's a large jump. Ad rate. Oh. Well, I guess the deck isn't playable anymore. I feel bad that they hit it so hard. Like that's just crazy. Packs being oh. Oh, hold, they actually hit Exo Sister. Hold, they hit Exo Sister? Let's go. Pax going to 10 and Michaela's going to 10? Is now game over. True. That's a decent amount, actually. That makes me feel better. Now they'll stop ideally playing Shifter. I would have just honestly it still feels bad, but like they're also about to get crazy support, so maybe that'll make it the difference. From not needing to run like Shifter and Extrav, because I think they were also on Extrav. Maybe I don't quite remember. Oh, is that the name of the spirit that they were running? It is. I did not know her name. I mean, a couple months, maybe longer, whatever. No, you know, they're gonna have good cards. They even got a good card in this one. It being 5 is kind of sad. Didomorphia domain, just to make sure you don't do the thing. You are not going to make us have to consider last turn yet. We'll get there when we get there, but we're not doing that yet. No, no, no. Frenzy to 1. Ah! 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 Q no! Q. The homie. Dead. Damn. I can't believe it. My little guy. No. I needed to record the short for this one soon. Now I can talk about it and even talk about this after. That's cool. I guess for content, but no. Damn. Level 9's the rank 9 pile deserves nothing. I guess. Or a Legacy Monstrosity Fair. That's the guy. Why is he at 1 point? What? Wait, why 1 point? Wait, I just realized it's 1 point for like multiple of these. What the hell am I about to look at? That's gonna make me sad when I look at it. Treasure the King. Nerva, the Power Patron and Creation. That's the extra deck card. Dodo Warrior. I mean, yeah, that's like circular, right? Yeah, Nerva is like this guy. That's actually pretty good. That is a very strong boss monster. I see why they're hitting it with points. Can't QQ VFT. I guess that's fair, huh? Yeah, actually, you know what? That's fair. You know what? You can bring up a good point. I was like, why would we hit Monstrosity, QQ, and the guy? And he's like, no, yeah, just not running it with stupid dumb brain is probably better, yeah. BFT being the format would being a viable thing in the format does kind of suck. All right, I can tell that. Abyss. Abyss is the level 9. Yeah, maybe. Hopefully. Totem Bird to 3. That's like a hit to Radiant Typhoon. I'll remember these. I'll remember the name of these cards one day. Oh, it is Radiant Typhoon. Oh god. Oh my lord. I got it right. Let's go. uh Mechanic King! That guy is a bit of a hot topic right now, right? Like wasn't there this whole debacle about how this card reads? Regardless. Heading the canines, that's just correct to do, honestly. It was crazy that they were still at like a number that was a little playable still. That's probably better, I assume. I assume that's better. Ah! Oh. Trish, no! My dragon of the ice barrier. Uh, uh, Ninja Blast near being at 13 is like a good thing. That's better for the livelihood of most people, I think. Foxy Tune 5? Megalith? Hey! Whoa! Let's not be so hey. Calm down. Let's not be too hasty. Dog? What's the problem? What's the issue? Those cards are not even out yet. It's fine. I don't think they're out, right? I'm not like stupid. Maybe they are out. Maybe I'm stupid. Oh my god, it is. Maybe I'm dumb and stupid. I guess I should have considered. They're out since Saturday. Oh, that's really funny. The Fallen and the Virtuous. Wait, then I guess that means they're legal, yeah. I forgot what this card actually does. It's branded Automatica. And a monster that mentions it from your extra graveyard, check your physical card field, destroy it. That is a really strong effect, yeah. And it doesn't even lock you out the extra. This is a crazy card. And it's a quick play reborn, as well as a quick play pop if you have Ecclesia anywhere, which you should have Ecclesia somewhere, realistically. Uh, alright, Albion. Canacla. Dog. They're. Branded is illegal. Branded is illegal. Man, they made every target just expensive as hell. Everything you could send off this damn Fallen Virtuous. Just a billion. Oh, okay, hold though. They did lower Mirror Jade and Rebellion. That's actually not bad. They did make Branded Fusion a little more expensive. That does kind of suck. Um, Mercurier, Mercurier actually is probably a fair hit to the deck. If all this other stuff was maybe not as cruel, like you could probably have all these at like 5 realistically, maybe, and then like maybe out beyond at like 10, and the deck would probably be something, maybe that might add up to enough with one brand of fusion. Masquerade, the Blazing Dragon. That's also a fair point. Like this tax guys are not fun to play against, if I'm gonna be honest. So I can agree with making that stupid card more points, even even though you're still being very rude to that deck. Like you just don't want it playable, which is really sad to be honest. Alright. Themes that weren't tempting: reinforcement of the army, emergency teleport, fire formation tanky. This is not enough to make me want to play any of these cards. Actually, that's not true. The tanky was already being considered for uh Lunalight anyways, even at the one of also digs, not worth it. Nightmare Apprentice, hold. That is actually not bad. That makes me want to actually play Chimera a little bit more, because the points were a little high on Chimera. Ashana still being pointed is crazy. Insage went down 13, let's go! You could play all your hidden cities along with some extra back row, yeah! Union Hanger, Dorsal Emergence, these cards don't need to be at 25. Glad Beast is going down, that's cool. We can maybe see Glad Beast actually do something. Timber Editor being higher is correct, though. That, like, I think the point of the format is that some decks that can't be played have their opportunity to be played and be in an interesting new environment, but in this instance, Tamer Editor is just a card that cheats stuff out of the extra that kind of trivializes any of the real like ways of actually summoning these cards, and that's probably like fair to hit that one if you're gonna hit any of them with a high point value. That's it. Uh, Gladiator Beast can now use their test bear, or Peeps can use his 15 test bears for freaking Genesis. Bison went down to 5. Thank God ninjas are allowed to be played. Holy crap! Why were ninjas off the table? What? It was crazy. Thank God. Oh, starter went down to 10. Okay, okay. I mean, that's actually rather interesting. Phantom U-Bell went up to 76. Uh, that's pretty true. I would say pretty true. Number throw went down to 25, but U-Bell went to 76. Brave Scrimmer went to 0. Vanishing Lanius. Why Vanishing? Vanishing's not even like the good one, right? That's a strong word. This is the alright one. But it like definitely didn't need to be pointed before. Oh, we actually like go to the blog itself to talk about it. Oh, and you can see all the red ones are them going up, all the green ones them going down. Whoa! They did separate these in an interesting way, I have to say. Yeah, it kind of sucks. I'm not gonna lie, that freaking Vanquishal got hit as hard as it did. In the context of like, damn, it probably should have had a little bit more time in the sun. But at the same time, I kind of get it. It was like the best deck in the TCG for like a little bit, and that little bit was just like a couple months ago, or not even a couple months ago, really, like a month and a half ago or something like that. Like, regardless, it's just like I do feel bad that they can't exist in either format, but at the same time, I get why they might not want to keep pushing it right now because it's still very much like, oh wow, I'm going to Genesis. Oh, it's still the best deck. Ah. Of course it's different. Of course it's different, but like different context, but like a lot of the same stuff you were considering anyways. The only real like major thing that's different is that no rock. And you're a little more limited on what your exes are, but like yeah. I will say this all seemed pretty good for the most part. In fact, I can actually even highlight it in a way to where I can just say, like, this section, spells that weren't tempting, outside Barone just randomly being here for no reason, really. I don't know why it's here. But regardless, everything else, all of these changes seem pretty fine, to be honest. All this seems good. I'm a little questionable on if Premature Burial should be 7. I think it's a strong card. that's very accessible in decks that I'm scared of. That said, it's probably not the end of the world either that it's at 7. Maybe it'll make Infernoble interesting in a way that's like different from either of its counterparts in the TCG. Which I guess has to be true since for latter Infernoble they don't have Charles Link version, and for earlier version they don't have links. I mean, they don't have links in either instance, but you know, it's the difference. Seeing all the back row removal going down, or the mass back row removal going down, is honestly like a kind of a good thing. Like I think Heavy Storm's like a playable card. Yeah, Power Tool maybe too. Like that's probably a little more combo-y than it being just an Infernoble. Like that seems a little more combo, freaking unrealistic clickbait combo dimension kind of. Well, actually, no. I guess you're right, right? Like, just normal power tool can just add it guaranteed because you're only spending what, 21? Uh, 21? I, the brainworms hurt me so much. I should kill MVT. Anyways, yeah. Premature being that low is a bit scary. Power tool being able to grab it in a deck that's making a 7. Um, freaking Infernoble having that kind of tool probably is also very strong. There seems ways that people could definitely abuse that, and I'm interested to see if it's in like an actual playable deck or not. But regardless, it's like I don't know. I actually don't remember what Dominant Spiral actually says on the card. During turn, which your opponent activate a monster effect in the Undergrave, you can activate this card from your hand. Target monster opponent controls during the hand direction. Then, if you have no traps in your grave, your opponent can special one monster from their graveyard. You can activate this card from your hand. You can activate the effects of Light or Darks for the rest of the duel. Locking out specific Light or Darks is a really interesting restriction that makes this actually probably kind of considerable in a lot of decks. Yeah, that five's like a decent one, and it being Compulse is pretty nice. Like I could see this being playable in like a couple of decks. I would like to see what comes out of that. Uh, Ironically, like Radiant Typhoon can play it, I guess. I don't know if they would want to, but you know, it's something they can do without having to think. Nibiru being 5 is honestly great. I would like to have Nibiru access in freaking Dragon Ruler as an option. Uh, I only get like 2 5-pointed cards as extra, so maybe one each of one Droll and my one Nibiru Smile. In general, that I think is honestly good. Nibiru being more reasonable to play is probably a good thing. The load bearing hand traps or whatever of Droll and Nibiru being low is nice. Shifter still being low kind of pisses me off, but you know, it's not the end of the world, I guess. Oh my gosh. Exosister got hit to hell, so now it's less likely that they're gonna go as hard on using their points on that specifically. And having more options for hand traps to actually play. Mourner being at 3 and Ogre being at 3 is like those are fine numbers. Those are actually genuinely good numbers. I'm actually really excited for that. I'm excited to actually like when I decide to play a different deck that isn't ruler. I'm I'm excited to play cards that could potentially be usable in my deck that I end up playing. The draw cards being hit makes sense. Upstart being at 0 is a little crazy. The 37 card deck was real. This format, that concept is a good thing. Because a lot of the decks don't have like these crazy cards that you don't want to draw ever. Your combo isn't as uh bunch of non-engine that's and then like a bunch of engine requirements. like the TCG to a degree. To a degree, of course, but you know. They didn't hit like Draco Tail stuff at all, right? No Draco Tail stuff. I saw that was doing stuff. People have definitely been playing Draco Tail cards, but no hits to it. I don't remember if it topped anything, I guess. They're pretty chill with doing that, I guess. Which is fair. These I I'm a little sad rulers still like each dragon ruler is still 7 instead of like maybe 6. Like I would like to have a little bit of wiggle room. Like you're already like telling me I don't get to play that many cards, but now you're like really telling me I don't get to play that many cards. The only interesting thing for rulers specifically is that freaking Mirage of Nightmare is now on the table. And that's kind of interesting. It's probably not worth running, generally speaking. I probably don't want to do that, but it's not the worst thing to consider. Like genuinely, if again, if the rulers went down like 1 point each, I could maybe be considering running like other hand traps and stuff to do stuff with in the main, and then also run those, and that could be like actually interesting for a deck that isn't modular enough to not get like shot in the head by like a single dark ruler. Of course, I've built my list in a way to where it doesn't necessarily lose to a dark ruler. I'm using every single point that I can to make sure that doesn't happen. I am running a shuffler so I can send it off Chasma freaking I'm running the Xyz armor package so I can actually make the big idiot on the opponent's turn more consistently. I'm considering very specific like hand traps being in the main. But overall, this was really interesting. I heard people complain about this in the sense of like, oh, they didn't hit the other good decks that much. And I'll say in some instances that's true. Like Archmage, for example, really did just get a slap on the wrist. They got like their boss monster lowered a little bit, or increased a little bit rather. And that's like the only direct hit. But I think that was like one of those decks where you were just running stuff like the Extravs as well in that deck. Like I think that was something that was happening. You know what? Sure, we'll look at the Farfoot one. Oh my god. Let's see. They were on the Super Poly, which also got hit. Um, only one on the big guy. This one's actually pretty expansive extra, all things considered. So definitely not on it. I wish there was more like direct results that I had here. It is kind of hard to like search, right? Oh no! Oh! Ah! You know what? I was like, aha! Thinking I might have missed like one in that initial search, but no. Apparently not. Alright, fine. You win this round. Oh yeah, let's go with this arch. Oh, okay. So like, the actual event that did run it did have someone in top 8 on Archmage that was on Extrav and they were running. Okay. So that seems like a fair hit in that case. This isn't on Super Poly, I'm noticing, but like that's also like fair. For it to not be on Super Poly. I wish I had the list here. Stonebird ran at 3. That's like fair. This one, no Runic? Oh wow, it really was no Runic. They're just on a freaking Widow Anchor singular. Oh, Dragon's Gate's in this extra. Oh my god, I love that card. Like I said, I've mainly been playing this with like friends and doing a little bit of like playing the format with them and testing out some of the decks they on. And they were like on Archmage and like Radiant Typhoon, but like I didn't like see like too much. But yeah, losing out on the Extravs is a big deal for a lot of these decks. What the hell is up with this one? Why do you have those in your extra deck? Uh, oh, wait a minute. This, Nerva here actually is technically generic, right? Yes. It is just a big idiot that you can make for free. Actually, you know what? I get it a little bit. Only a really tiny amount. It's an annoying guy that doesn't die from card effects that can swing, which is like fair. But yeah, it does seem like we did do a decent bit of like actually addressing some of the bigger problems, I think. Yeah, you're usually on like 3 Michaelis, right? Yeah, now it's like 3 packs, 3 Michaelis, that's like the best one. You have to use like probably half your points, maybe 40 at best. Because you're definitely on 3 packs still, like you're not just gonna like sacrifice that consistency. Jeez, 2 different people were on VFD? I didn't know it happened twice. My bad. This, my poor QQ. He will be missed. Away. This is the one that got left near like shot in the street, but yeah. On a mat with their uh, uh, cards. Gene sus. Yeah, putting a little more on that extra is probably, or on this deck for points is probably good. Oh! What? There was a playable brand list that got top 8. Why don't I look stupid? Like, the issue here is that this looks like it's just branded is the problem, too. And this looks pretty close to branded. I was unaware. Like, this is just branded, but like, the non-engine's different. Damn. You know what? Maybe hitting it was kind of correct. Yeah, that's true. But damn. Crazy. I guess looking at the last one is not like gonna kill me. I wonder who this one was. Was there no other one? Was there no other list posted? Damn, dog. I guess we'll just acknowledge the last turn. That's it. Last turn. But yeah, Genesis, cool. Banlist, TM, pretty neat. I feel a little bad that Brandon got as hit as it did. Like, this is crazy, right? Like, you could have just made it all 5. Like, we did not need to go this hard on the poor little Branded deck. I think Branded, in most contexts, is actually rather interesting as long as you have, the specific stuff that it's trying to cheat out with the specific card, not available. If you just have, honestly, just take the card out back. Sanctifier was a mistake, Expulsion was a mistake. They were a little too easy to use, a little too hard to interact with to a degree. With Sanctifier, I think can't be targeted. So you can't like imperm Veiler or whatever. And obviously Expulsion you can summon from anywhere and didn't have to target a particular card. So like the removal of the hand traps that would remove something from the graveyard wouldn't work. Yeah, that. So those cards obviously not very healthy. That said though, I do think it needs to have points. I do think it does need to be hit because it is a strong deck that has a lot of interaction when allowed. But this seems like ridiculous. Brandon getting this kind of craziness is these kind of hits is crazy. But I guess the Fallen and the Virtuous is a crazy card too. That I could see people just in general playing. Like, heck, if I had points in Dragon Ruler, I would maybe consider it because it dumps a dragon. Uh, but you know. Alright,